Hey guys, welcome back to another video. It's your man Jay Will. So a couple of days ago, I had the opportunity to sit down and talk about technology with a well-known company called ZTE. You guys know who they are. And they gave me an opportunity to talk about all the things that I like about the upcoming device, the Blade Z Max, kind of a successor to the Z Max Pro. But here's that interview in its entirety. They have it posted for the Z community, but I'm able to post it here as well, just in case you missed it. So I will see you guys in the next video. Here's the interview coming up.
Well, good morning, Jay Will. Thanks for making the time today to chat.
Morning.
Great to have you. In fact, I don't know if you know this, but it's a distinct honor that you are the first guest on this show.
I'm excited. Yep, you know me, and my fans know. I shouldn't say fans, but the people who follow me know. Super excited to be the first on some things. That's a good thing. I appreciate it, man. It's an honor to even be asked to even do it at all. I appreciate ZTE for that.
Awesome. As you can see, the setup is very, very casual. This is our Tech Talks program. We want to keep it very informal, but we also want to keep it very informative to everyone that's out there. I know you're very passionate about mobile. I'm passionate about mobile, so we're trying to reach out to people that are equally passionate about mobile. All right, so first things first, I don't doubt that you heard about the big news yesterday about the Blade Z Max. Any impressions, any initial thoughts about that new device came out yesterday?
Well, when I first saw it, I thought only ZTE, and just speaking on facts, there's not a lot of other OEMs who are actually producing 6-inch 1080p displays at that price point. So the first when I saw it, I was like, another good one. Gotta buy it. Gotta get it. Because I do reviews on it. I actually put up a spot on it yesterday on my YouTube channel, letting everybody know, hey, it's finally here. I'm excited. I'm definitely excited. Love the big phones, and I know it's gonna be good. I mean, I don't doubt it. This is where ZTE is kind of dominating the pocket-friendly market, so I was really excited.
Awesome. And not that I'm a big stalker, but I've seen a couple of your videos. It might be true, it might not be true, but I think you're a little fan of the Z Max Pro from last year.
Oh.
Can you walk me through just your initial kind of benchmarking of last year's device versus this year's device?
Wow, yeah, I think you'd be right. If anything, I'm probably stalking the Z Max Pro from last year. But I bought several of those. I actually gave those away. I decided to help out some people who just really wanted a new phone and wanted that particular phone. But last year versus this year, I think last year, this is considered an upgrade to me. And some people might say on paper it doesn't look like an upgrade because some people get too technical about specs. When really you should be looking at performance. And last year that phone was running Android 6, obviously. And it was running the Snapdragon 617. And the Snapdragon 617 was in a lot of other phones. And some people weren't too fond of it. It has some issues. But the Z Max Pro held up very well with that processor. And having continuing on with the 32 gigs of onboard storage, the SD card, the screens on those phones are it's just a media consumption. A person who does a lot of media consumption, this is a dream phone for them. So last year versus this year, I think the build quality has gotten better. I like the way it looks like it has a texture back, which is going to add some grip to it, and just makes it look slimmer as well. It looks like they flattened out the back. Still keeping what works. It worked for you guys to have a 6-inch 1080p display, so you didn't take that away. You didn't downgrade to 720p. And some people, when I talked about processors about the 617, I've spoken to people about this device already, and let me tell you, 99% of the people are excited about it and happy, and they can't wait for it. But some people look at the 400 series processor that's probably going to be in this new version. They're thinking that, that might not be a good move, but the 400 series compared to the 617 actually runs a lot better. I have other phones with the 400 series processor in it, and it actually runs much better than the 617 processor. So last year versus this year, short to the point, is going to be better because this new version is running 7.1.1 out of the box, and you still ZTE as a company capitalized on what they did best, which is, again, big screen, big battery. That got an upgrade from, I think, 3400 to 4080. This is all good things. So 32 gigs onboard storage, again, SD card. It looks different. You've got the dual cameras. Upgrading the front camera to 8 is a positive thing. And I can't wait to get some hands-on time with that. And then the rear going to a 16 plus a 2. all good. You know, it's an upgrade from last year. It doesn't have the Pro branding, but maybe ZTE will bring a Pro version. I don't know. I talked about that yesterday in a video I did, but this is a good thing. I think it's going to work out good. I think people will probably be shocked.
Awesome, cool. And what about just in terms of competition? I know the affordable market is getting pretty popular, especially in the last 12 to 24 months. How do you think this stacks up against the competitors, and even list out a couple devices that you think it goes head to head with?
Well, that's an easy one because some of the phones that the Z Max line is competing against, they cost more. So right there alone, like LG has the Stylo series. Samsung has the they have a lot of different series that have 5.5 inches phones like that. So there's so many to call up, but the thing that most customers want to see is a low price. Customers want, now amongst the tech community, they might say, oh, that's really not my thing, or yes, I love it. It's going to be one or the other. So Samsung and LG are the first ones that I can think of, and Motorola. Motorola's doing low-priced phones too, and they run a stock Android setup like ZTE runs with the mild skin too. But some of the other companies, their phones cost more, and while they might edge out the ZTE devices sometimes in camera, ZTE is still capitalizing on what works. And this is from personal experience. It's not like an infomercial. This is a real world Jay Will telling the truth about it. ZTE is, some people might say you guys should make something else, or you guys should do this, but capitalize on what's working, because the facts are, in my experience and my research of my own, the Z Max Pro is probably one of the top selling phones for ZTE, and that's a winner. So putting the Z Max, this new one that's hitting us here at the end of this month, putting it against the competition like the Stylo that I have here, the Moto that I have here, some of these other phones that are in the US officially, they can't compete with price. They cost a little bit more, and they might even be offering a little bit less, because none of them actually have a 6-inch display that I know of. The only competition there might be Sony, but look at how much the phone costs. It starts at like $200. Some of them are $400. So that's going to sway customers, I think, away, because the masses aren't buying $800 phones. The masses are buying $150, $200, $99, $39, because for them the forefront is not a cell phone. It's their children, their granddaughter, their work, their car. It's something else. It's not a cell phone. But us in this community, we focus on smartphones. So I think the competition is good, because competition is good. But I think where ZTE might be winning is they're bringing that 6-inch screen with lots of internal memory. I don't know if a lot of people know, but amongst the tech community, the standard should be 32 gigs onboard storage. So that's a huge plus. I mean, you're giving us this with a $100 price tag. This is a win-win. So competition, it's good. They have things that they might do better than some of the ZTE phones. But ZTE, if you can win the customers over with the price and give them still the things that they want to be able to do with social media, with their family, with their children, that 6-inch screen with the big battery is just a winner. It's a winner.
Yeah. From my perspective too, I'm coming from the Z Max Pro last year, but before that I had the Z Max, so it dates me a little bit, but that's 2014, one of the first series that came out from ZTE. But I love the path that it's taken. I mean, full HD. A lot of devices out there on the low end are still doing 720p, which is good enough, but ultimately if you're looking at a lot of multimedia, a lot of video, 1080p is sort of a minimum nowadays, right?
It's a lot of people. I guess the problem with it is if you start releasing phones that have 720p displays, and they may have a low cost. I've got several here in front of me. I won't show them, but there's some that have 720p displays, and they're really good. But it's releasing with the current competition. So ZTE can stay ahead of the game by keeping that standard and setting that standard, because I think the Z Max Pro from last year was just one of the most fantastic devices I ever owned. And so stepping forward today with this current device that's going to hit us, the Z Max, is again setting the standard, because you've given it now dual cameras, you've upgraded the front camera, you've given it a bigger battery, and I guess it just kind of says to other OEMs, yeah, you guys probably are not targeting Samsung Galaxy Note owners, or you're not targeting Samsung Galaxy S8 Plus owners. Those phones cost 8 times the cost, but in the end, all the phones still do the same thing. So it doesn't matter how fast you get to the finish line, it's the fact that you get to the finish line. And so if ZTE can keep capitalizing with that 1080p display, that big battery, that good build quality, and a low price, it's a win-win.
Cool. Not to geek out too much, but this device also supports band 66.
Oh,
If you know a little bit about that,
oh
which I
yeah.
just learned about recently, 600 megahertz, it goes a long way if you're in a building. And for me, I'm on T-Mobile, Metro PCS, that matters to me a lot. So I know band 12, what was it, about a year ago,
Yeah.
works very, very well. Now it also includes band 66, which is relatively new. I don't think it's on many phones today. I don't know if you know.
Yeah.
It's mostly the flagships that I know of, at least, right?
That would be correct. And you know what? You caught me off guard with that one because I didn't know. I tried to research as much as I could on the phone, and I know this phone, with it having band 66, that's a request that in the tech community, people ask for. So again, it's about ZTE setting the standard right there. There are hardly any budget phones or pocket-friendly phones that have band 66. Like, I can't name any, and I have probably every phone that hits the market. But band 66 on this phone, I'm 100% serious. I didn't know that, and I tried to research this thing like crazy, and it has band 66. So again, that's another standard, pocket friendly. I'll be able to go to my doctor's appointments and use this at the VA hospital like I do without losing service, because band 12 right now is not becoming enough because of all the customers that are being picked up on T-Mobile. The congestion is there. So deep penetration in buildings, that's another plus, man. I mean, with this phone being $100 and it has band 66, it shines a light on other OEMs to say, why can't you do that, or why aren't you doing that?
Yeah. Coming back to this thing of getting more bang for your buck, I mean, obviously the high end is getting more and more expensive. I mean, I think upwards of $700-800. I mean, I'm even hearing $900-1,000 in the near future, which pretty scared to me. My laptop costs $300, so I'm just thinking, do I want to shell out more than 3x what I paid for my laptop? It sounds crazy, but in this world of changing technology and all that kind of stuff, I mean, besides getting more bang for your buck, what are you most excited to see in the mobile world? Whether it's technology, features, form factor, you name it.
I think the way the industry is going, they're going towards this new. There's plenty of ways that the industry is going, and sometimes being different is good. And right now, one thing that you guys are doing that you haven't shifted towards yet is the 16:9 aspect ratio. You're staying there because that works for the 99% of the world. The industry is going towards 18.9 or 18.95. This is where it's shifting, or bezel-less phones. I think with ZTE, speaking specifically about ZTE, you guys are already giving the bang for buck for customers. And this phone in particular, if in the future there is a pro version of this phone, because the fact is people love the Z Max Pro. There's a percentage of people who had issues or whatever, but I would love to see ZTE go in that direction. Give us that eclectic hardware with a big screen. Capitalize like LG does. Big screen, small body. All those things. I think that's where the industry's going. So I'm sure that somewhere in your magical wand you can wave it and make sure that ZTE gets on board of that too. But that would be nice to see ZTE go towards that, just to see what they can bring, and see if they can keep it pocket friendly. And another thing that people love, and I know you see my channel and I collect them and I use them every day for the gym, headphones. I would love to see ZTE bring out their own set of headphones, some Bluetooth headphones. That would be really nice. I talked about this offline with someone else, and they were like, man, it would be nice. That would be nice to have a nice set of headphones from ZTE. Because you guys have Dolby Audio, so some places are moving away from 3.5 millimeter headphone jacks. That doesn't bother me at all. It doesn't matter if it has a headphone jack or not. But as long as you capitalize on that and still bring good audio, that's going to be important, because right now, most of those phones that you guys have a rear-mounted speaker, but it has Dolby Audio, so it is extremely loud. And so people sometimes stray away from a rear-mounted speaker, when I understand why. It's easy to cover up, but those big phones have great speakers, and so move us in that direction of start getting more into audio, and give us the fancy-looking, eclectic. Take that risk like Samsung did with the Note line. Everybody laughed at it, but now look at the Note line. So ZTE, take a risk, get out there and do something like that. It'll be fantastic.
Awesome. Well, good stuff, man. I mean, it's always good to hear your insights. I really appreciate you being straightforward and very honest with us. Um, and to respect the time of our viewers, especially, I want to end with one last question for you.
Oh yeah.
A little pop quiz.
Oh.
So in the spirit of community and sort of continuing our Tech Talks program beyond this first episode, top of your head, I mean, could you help us list out maybe 2 or 3 people that you think we should reach out to for our next episode? Obviously, you set the bar pretty high, but we're looking for people that are passionate about tech and especially mobile, right? People that know this inside and out. It's not a job for them. They do this in their spare time. I mean, people lose sleep over it because they just want to research and just learn more about it. Do you have any folks that you know of that you can recommend for us?
I have one person in particular who's always at the top of my list because I think about, you said the passion. The reason I would say this person, there's multiple people. So first disclaimer, the person that pops at the top of my list is not to say that other people didn't, you're not there yet, but this person was a passionate tech person before they started a YouTube channel. And they're still new at doing YouTube, but they're really good. They are so passionate. This person is very passionate about technology. And I know this because they were doing the technology thing quietly, and they were just a viewer. But I think you guys would do great with an interview or getting another guest on for the Tech Talk here with ZTE. He goes by the name of Grant S. Grant is a passionate, and I can give you his information afterwards if you just need it, but this guy is passionate. He buys, he's not sponsored, just like me, he's not sponsored by anyone. He goes out, stands in line like I do, or he waits on shipping like I do. He buys and reviews devices, and he's a passionate guy. And I think Grant will be a great person to talk to about this because he knows his stuff and he's into it. You see that drive. He's excited to talk about processors. He's excited to talk about screens. He's very detailed on cameras. I would say Grant. And there's other people that I could recommend, but Grant was the first one that popped in my head because I love his work, and I think he would be a great fit to get details with on your Tech Talk show.
Awesome. Well, much appreciated. We'll reach out to him. I might ping you for a couple other names just in case, he's too busy, but it sounds like with your endorsement, I don't see how you can say no. I mean,
well, I've got lots of them. Donovan is another guy. He's another guy. He's just like Grant. He's another guy. He's a family man. Like, I would prefer to keep the company you keep is it's who you are. So Donovan is another person. And I know you've heard of my Project 13, but these guys are family men and they work 9 to 5s, So they do this on the side. They're not sponsored, and they're spending their own money to go out and support. They're basically helping support the tech community, the companies, without even getting paid for it. I'd love a check one day, but it happens. But it's the passion that goes behind it. And I think Grant is at the top of my list for really passionate, and I think he would be a great fit to interview, man. Him and Donovan and my Project 13, but Grant's definitely at the top of my list.
Awesome. Hey, thank you so much, man. You've really set the right tone and tenor for future episodes, and we'll reach out to the folks that you mentioned. Maybe one last question. I mean, have you already pre-ordered the Blade Z Max, or are you gonna wait till it pops up in the stores in a couple of days?
I have had the worst time with pre-ordering. Something always goes wrong, so I'm not really a pre-order person anymore. But if you do watch my channel, people watching, Jay Williams, smartphoneconversations.com, you'll see it there.
Okay, so you'll be doing a
full extent. Viewers are waiting for that. Again, I did that promo video yesterday, I believe it was, or I don't know what day it was, August 13th or so, I don't know, 12th, I don't know, but people were excited about that, and I didn't even have the phone. I was like, I don't even need to show you, but I want to talk about it. So it's a good conversation. I love it.
Awesome, cool, man. Hey, that wraps up our first Tech Talks episode. Thank you, Jay Well. It's a privilege and honor talking to you, as always. To our viewers, thanks for watching us. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, drop us a line below, and we'll hope you join us for the next episode. Thank you, guys.